gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, it's Tyler Bryant Hour, TBH Hour, TBH, whatever you want to call it. I am your co-host, Beard, aka Brian, aka Prince Vegito out the Hayden. I'm going to pass it to my co-host, Tyler. You want to say something to the people?
My good people, what's going on? This is Tyler the Libra, aka TTL, aka just Tyler. And episode 27, we're getting up there, man. We're getting up there. You know, we're kind of consistent now, a little bit.
Got mics that are super expensive, so be sure to support.
How much were these mics, by the way?
Bro, you don't want to know. It's just no. It's
over decent.
It's over $2. All together with everything I spent, it's over $2. So you want to make a donation to the United Negro Foundation, which is your boy.
I made too many of them donations.
Shit, you didn't for these. PayPal, Brian Hurd II17@gmail.com. But this is a very special episode. Back-to-back guests. I don't think we've done that in a while either. Father Ron, I would say, a.k.a. man just turned into a father, a.k.a. sneakerhead, a.k.a.
King Vegeta over here.
Just the dope individuals, tatted, swaggy. Think about Post Malone, like that's Iowa's version of Post Malone, just a cool ass dude, great friend of mine. He definitely was 99 for a second, but he came back to 100 because your ass back in the day, you bring up names. Ron, but
he was wilding, boy.
Bro, you remember when Ron would be at school and you'd be texting, so you texting a shorty, you just excited to text. Ron would look over your shoulder. Oh, I see you. It's just
I see you playing. Hey, such and such.
Bro, you would be in the conversation, man. Quick, just did a little dip over.
Bro, you trying to get her? Hey.
But nonetheless, one of the triple OG squad members, one of the ones in the group chat, day one homie.
RD3.
Ron, you want to say something to the people?
Hello, it's Ron. Just happy to be here. This is my third time. Excited just to chop it up with the boys and stuff.
I think if not Weston, you're tied. I don't know if Weston was on 4 or I know he's at least 3.
Right. Yeah.
Because obviously we did a lot of the podcasts at his house too. So, but yeah, you're definitely up there. Hopefully, we can break the streak with our boy Ron. What you been up to, brother, man? How's life?
Life's good. Just out there grinding for my family. Recent dad. Just trying to provide for her and for Ace. Just out there working.
Shout out to Ace.
Just trying to get my money up, not my funny up.
I feel that. You're preaching to the choir right now.
So yeah, nothing.
Well, which we definitely will touch later. We're not going to touch right this second, but due to my failed, it's hard when you do everything for the podcast. It is hard. What I failed and messed up on was when I was filling out the information for the podcast, I had to get it over from SoundCloud. You had to describe the podcast essentially, and then I think that episode where 3 years later, where we talked about where we've been at and things of that nature, we ended up talking about boxing and football and basketball. So that's what I ended up putting. So the podcast is technically on Spotify, football and basketball and boxing podcast. So that's probably why you might not be able to find it if you type in comedy or Tyler Bryant Hour right away. But fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Let's climb up the algorithm and just keep supporting this and keep listening to it. And if it's a football, basketball, boxing podcast, then so be it, wherever it is. But for those of you who do not know, Ron is a tremendous diehard boxing fan. I think he probably stayed with the sport, even though when it had its dry era, it had its not like its attitude era, but it had its era of where it was just solely boxing. And I think one of the problems with boxing is that each individual has their own really promotion and things of that nature. So it's not like a league. It's harder to find the household names of boxing. But what I wanted to talk to Ron with is, who is your favorite boxer of all time, or some boxers that you just love and admire?
Shout out to Calvin and Ben. I watch boxing with them a lot. They kind of introduced me to the sport, and I kind of followed it on my own after that. My favorite boxers right now, probably Canelo, probably the best pound for pound fighter in my opinion. Tyson Fury, heavyweight, he's crazy. Who else? Terrence Crawford's up there. He's probably the second best pound for pound fighder. Who else?
Isn't there some twin brothers that are really talented and good?
Oh yeah, I can't remember the name. Yeah, but they're good, but they fight cans. Like they fight trash cans, so they need I think they'd be better if they, test. I think that's a big problem in boxing is people just fight for the money and fight trash cans to, be undefeated. But I feel like if you fight, real fighters, you make more money. You'd actually test how much skill you actually have and then go on from there. But everyone's scared to fight everybody because they just want to be undefeated. I think Floyd kind of set that into stone when he was undefeated.
Well, also I think it's the issue of like I said, there's being so many promotions like where the NFL is going to set it up to where like the playoffs teams, the best teams that make it will make it to the playoffs, and then like those two teams out of each side will play each other. Whereas boxing, you can have the best person in this promotion, but he's not a draw and he's not going to bring you any money. It's not really worth the risk because then like that's cross promotion. Like you have to coexist and co together. Like I think Showtime and like all those kind of own their own kind of things, but like Mayweather promotions and things of that nature. And the scary point that we will touch on later with some of your favorite boxers is like the stuff that Logan and Jake Paul are able to do to where they're able to draw a crowd, and like their boxing match last year with Denji and KSI, that drew a lot of numbers. So like anyone could, like we honestly probably could create our own promotion if we really wanted to. Like, and I think that's the scary thing about boxing right now.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sucks when promotions have a play in like who they want you to fight and stuff like that. But
and then how much money you get.
Yeah, that also sucks. I know Canelo just left Golden Boy Promotions. He left what was his name?
Golden Boy. That sounds super familiar too. We're drawing blanks. We're not really looking it up right now.
Yeah, he left him because he wasn't getting paid enough, and then he sued DAZN, which is the platform he was signed to. So he's promoting himself now, so he can pick who he wants to fight, and he's fighting tonight. I'm super excited to see that after this.
It should be a good fight. Is there anything you know about Smith at all? Or like?
No, they know he's going to get his ass beat, but that's any Canelo opponent, really.
I don't know. I think I saw I can't remember if I saw the second one or the first one, but Canelo versus Triple G was a really good fight. And the fact that Triple G was taking some shots.
Man, they both are taking shots. They both have chins. Personally, I thought Canelo won the first one, but the draw was good, and then it was a good lead up for the second, and then Canelo just beat his ass necessarily. He fucked him up because he brought the fight to him, and Canelo he's just really, really good. He's matured really well in the sport of boxing after his loss to Mayweather when he was like super, super young. Yeah.
And then for those of you who do not know, I am a really big UFC fan, but I just started recently getting back into boxing, and I'm here for all of it. I'm here for boxers getting paid and getting established and getting their money, and I'm out here for like the pros like Triple G, Canelo, Fury, Deontay Wilder, not Davis. I forgot his first name. Isn't he like Tank or something like that? Gorilla?
Oh, Gervonta Davis.
Gervonta Davis.
He's part of Floyd's team.
Right. And then
wait, so is Adrian Broner still on there?
No,
he was.
He's
been wild.
He's fighting next year, but he's just gotten into some recent like court problems. I think he spent a couple of days in jail because he didn't pay.
And I think Floyd even said that like his biggest problem was all his outside antics. Like he's a good boxer.
Broner was a really good athlete, but he just like his outside.
Yeah, like I want to get back into boxing, and also we need another fight night. Like fight night is one of the best games there is, and like I hate that EA. I get it because you don't make money, but I hate that EA's last few games that they made were like really good that just stopped making games. Fight Night, it happened with Fight Night, it happened with NCAA 14. Like those were some of the two best games they made, and it just happened. Tyler, you didn't speak on who's your favorite boxer of all time. Who do you like, or who did you watch, if you watch?
I don't watch it that much. Like I just have kind of just like fell out of place with it recently during the years, but like I don't know. As far as I think Adrian Broner is the most entertaining one that I've seen in a while, as far as that aspect goes. And I really enjoy watching him when he does fight, when he does actually No. I just like.
No, you're fine. Boxing's it's not for everybody. I think a lot of people don't like to watch each other beat the crap out of each other.
No, it's not that. It's just that I just haven't really.
I know, it's like I said, it's not for everybody, and yet it catches the right type of audience.
It's also a hard sport because it's kind of like it's just one of those sports where like boxing's boring moments, and I'm using air quotes here, are not pleasing to fans. Like,
Yeah, boxing was really bad at a certain point because just everyone was ducking everybody, and there weren't that big of promotion fights.
And I'm not even talking about that aspect. I'm just talking about like fighting. Like in fighting games, there's a term called neutral, and it's basically when you're moving in each other's ranges, but you're not really hitting each other just yet because you're trying to find that like that max range you could be at to where they'll miss you, but you can hit them. And I feel like that's such a hard aspect of the mental game of combat sports as far as boxing and MMA goes. So it's kind of boring when essentially people can't hit the other person or they don't hit each other.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's why that could be an issue with like boxing or even MMA.
Yeah, I can see that.
Worse with MMA.
As like casual fans, like tuning in, like why aren't they hitting each other? Like what are they doing? So I feel like you have to be really into boxing and like mixed martial arts to enjoy and kind of see what they're doing, because most of the time, first couple rounds, like they're feeling each other, so they're not throwing that many punches. But after a while, the right fighter will start to get his groove and his rhythm, and do his art. That's essentially so. And
I feel like what they have to do in boxing immediately is get better judges. I feel like there's too many judges. I almost feel like I could be a better judge, and I have no boxing experience.
Yeah, it's really tough because they go to school to become boxing judges and stuff like that. But I feel like the only way to get better judges is to put people that have actually boxed in the sport. Like a Mike Tyson could be a judge, or like the older heads, you know what I mean? Like people that actually box professionally.
Isn't it Tony Atlas that does the ESPN breakdown, the older white guy that's always talking to Stephen A. Smith, right?
No, that's Max Kellerman.
No, the older one. The older one with the double chin that drains out, like he does the boxing one. He's always spitting, and he's like super passionate, and he loves his voice.
Maybe, I don't know.
I bet you'll see him tonight if you watch ESPN after the fight. I can't remember his name. I think it is Tony Atlas. It's Tony something.
I know Max is really, really, really good in boxing. Like
I think that's where he comes from, right?
What?
I think he comes from a boxing background. Like I think he did boxing before he did ESPN.
Maybe, I don't know, but that's only a really good source I'll listen to about boxing. That's the only sport I kind of respect him about, because he'd be talking about some outlandish shit.
We get paid to talk. I mean, it's just like us. We get paid to talk out our ass. Like that's just
right.
What it is.
But
yeah, I definitely, and I've been wanting to, and hopefully, like, if things slow down with COVID, I want to get into like boxing training. That's one of the few training things that I actually respect. And I don't know if I would jump in the ring. I'm not saying I'm not scared.
That's a lot of conditioning, boy. I'm telling you. It will get you right though.
Yeah, and especially just like someone hitting the pad, and then hitting that, I don't know what it's actually called, I'm sorry, like clueless, but the thing where it bounces and you hit it back like this, like I'm doing the motion of it, but like those are some things I respect. Just be able to jump rope too. So still to talk about the boxing topic, Tyler, what are your thoughts on Logan Paul versus Floyd, and things of that nature?
What I think about it? I think Floyd doesn't need to do this fight.
He really don't.
Honestly, like, it was one of those things where he's so much of an entertainer that he feels like that he just needs to give that, every single time that his name is mentioned, he just needs to give that to the people. So that's what he's going to do. That's what his whole brand is based on, just entertainment like that. So I feel like, I don't know, I don't necessarily think that would be a bad fight. I just think that like it'd be one of those ones where like people would be like, well, we kind of knew what to expect, like obviously. And I mean, when you have money like Floyd Money Mayweather, like every single thing you do is in the spotlight, and you have to cater to the people, your fans, and everything, and people want to see this. Surprisingly, so
I don't.
Ron doesn't, but I mean, I think I do. I think it would be good. I think, like I said, it's entertainment.
I feel like it's a pointless fight because it's just an exhibition, so they probably can't knock each other out. They're just going to touch each other up on the body, get a little few, face shots. Floyd's probably going to run just because Logan's a bigger guy, but that's Floyd always does. That's always.
But that's his style, though.
Yeah.
But then again,
he's not an attacker.
He's defensive fighters we've ever seen too. Like some of the stuff he's avoided too. Like you got to give Floyd that credit. Personally, I'm the opposite. I want to see it. If they're gonna make it happen, let's do it. I want to see where it goes and where it takes. I think I'm finding more respect for Logan Paul. And
some people say he should have just fought Jake.
Well, they talk about that doing that too, eventually.
I don't like the whole aspect of these famous YouTubers getting into boxing because it's kind of throwing that flow back off and making boxing look like a joke by saying that if you have millions of dollars, you can get the right trainers to become a professional boxer, which is true. I mean, if you do the training, you can be decent, but I feel like most boxers, come from the trenches when they're younger and work their way up, and they're kind of gifted in the sense. But all these kids all they do is they have like millions of dollars off of YouTube, so they're like, oh, I just want to make more money. I'm gonna do boxing and call outlandish people and get my ass beat.
I think because Logan had an interview that I watched from this other guy that kind of went from the MMA boxing world into YouTube and like that sort of thing and podcasting. I think it makes sense of how he is approaching it. If he's approaching it where I think they're both 3 years into it. They're not just taking any and every fight because everybody's always the easy come up is like.
Did they both start?
Yeah, they both started around.
I feel like Logan started before Jake a little bit, at least a year or so.
No, they started at the same time because they had that pay-per-view that they fought other YouTubers. And I mean, if you put in the work, you put in the trenches. And you're not just taking any and every fight. Like, you're doing the right thing. Like, if anything, I applaud the YouTuber who takes that grind and does it. And, like, Logan, from the interview I watched, it sounds like he wants to really do this shit. Versus a Nate Robinson who got...
He was just like, yo, I'm just going to get up in this ring. I'm Nate Robinson. I'm a former NBA
more
star.
Athletic, more superior in every sort of term of
as a former dunk champion.
Dunking didn't help that nigga in the fight. But
you get what I'm saying.
I respect Nate or Jake and Logan more because of how they went about it than how Nate just got whoever and didn't even look like a boxer. That's the worst part.
Because he's not a boxer. He trained for 3-4 months and got
But I mean,
he thought they knocked out.
It's principle. Well, at the same time, so I brought it up on the podcast before, and I'll say it again. Butterbean. He fought this guy in WWE because they made a Brawl for All tournament where there was actually boxing and stuff like that. It was a shit show. It looked terrible because obviously these guys didn't look that good. Butterbean said the guy it was a bigger guy and had more reach on him. He said Butterbean would have got knocked out if he actually fought him. His worst decision he made is he tried to outbox Butterbean. Butterbean put that nigga out like a light after he's like, oh, you gonna actually box me? Oh, this is stupid. Baby. And the dude was just out. And I feel like that's what Nate Robinson did. He was like, all right, I'm gonna try to outbox Jake Paul. Jake Paul's been training for 2.5 years. You're not gonna outbox him. I don't care how good you are as an athlete.
Right, but Nate wasn't a boxer at all. Like I say, he's only trained for a couple months, probably just to get the check. I mean, Jake might be doing it serious.
But that's what I'm saying. That's where he went wrong. I have more respect for the YouTubers that are actually training, and that's all they're doing. Because I don't think Logan Paul's doing anything outside of podcast and collecting Pokemon. So he's training and he has the size for it. And then even if you look at the hit that Jake hit Nate with, he hit him with a step back overhand right. Like, that shit was flush. That shit was clean. Like, he has good form.
Right, but he's not going to do that to the worst professional boxer there is. That's on. Like, these kids are doing it for money, and I don't think they really do it for the true sport of boxing. They just want to get their name out there into different variety of things. Because, I mean, they make millions of dollars on YouTube. They don't need to do this, but they're doing it for some reason. But what I don't get is why they're calling out, the best of the best. I don't know why Logan wants to fight. I'm not saying Floyd's washed, but he's definitely in his older ages. I don't know why he wants to fight him so bad. And then you got Jake calling out McGregor. McGregor will fuck him up. McGregor's not even a boxer, but he will fuck him up. I mean, he fought with Floyd. I'm not saying Floyd was going 100%, but he hit some shots on Floyd. and they went 8-9 rounds before Floyd turned it up and knocked him out. Mm-hmm. Technical knockout. So, I mean, they're not doing that to the worst professional boxers, all I'm saying.
Do you think, say, Jake and Logan, well, I exclude Logan because we don't know what happens to Floyd, because I do want to see the fight. I am going to put money on Logan, probably because it's going to be some crazy, ridiculous odds. And
I don't think
and
they're
if
gonna,
he does do it in a weird way,
they're not gonna say Floyd lost to a YouTuber. There's no way that's gonna happen,
bro.
Especially if it's just an exhibition like the Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight,
bro.
How there's no winner.
If Twitter went off, like to say, all right, say they rule it as exhibition.
Okay.
Say Floyd gets knocked out, like even once, just hits the ground, he's out. Twitter is going to go insane. If they get insane for Nate Robinson, they're going to. And if Floyd's
rip his head off, boy.
Floyd's just doing this because he's broke.
I don't even think it's that.
I think it.
I'm not about to call that man broke.
I think it's almost like Tyler told me last week. He asked me a question and he's like, can happiness get boring? I just think it's one of those things where Floyd literally has everything in the world, has done everything. He's just bored. So
and he's broke.
I don't think it's a broke thing. You don't have to be broke to be bored. Because
Right,
it's like, what else
money.
is he doing?
Right.
Not getting money. He's spending all of it.
I don't think
that man has so much revenue and so many checks coming in. The fact that he is be really hard for him to be broke.
I know. I'm not saying he's actually broke, but I'm just saying what other people say all the time. How Floyd came out of retirement to fight Conor, and everyone said he was broke. And he got a check.
That's such a weird argument because, like, even like take
I wouldn't know what to do with one of them.
Take the Floyd versus Pacquiao fight. He made like $190 million. Like, you would have to be so fucking crazy with your money to.
He is that crazy though.
I know he spends a lot of money, but
have you seen this man's car collection?
$190 million. Because that was like what? That was like 5 years ago, right? That fight between him and Pacquiao. That wasn't even 5 years ago, right?
No.
It was like in 2014.
The one with Conor.
Was it? Actually, you might be right.
Yes, it was. It was 2014 because that was.
Oh shit!
I was in. I think it was the fight was.
Because I was in
during prom. For me, I was in high school as a senior. It was during prom, I think.
No, because you don't.
No, it was 2015.
Yeah, it was
2015, right. And then he fought Conor 3 years later.
I think it was 20. Yeah, you're right.
Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I'm not looking at my phone.
I was a sophomore, and I remember I watched that in my shower because like I had it.
Pause. Wait a minute.
Well, I had it on a alleged link, and then I was like, "Hey, yo, I gotta watch this fight." But then the shorty told me to come through.
That was definitely the 2nd of May, 2015.
Yeah, so that sounds right.
Yeah,
because I was in school.
It would take about 5 years.
All right, but even then. 2015, realistically, even if you're a baller, even if you have everything you want, do you honestly think both of you guys could blow through $190 million?
Yes.
In what way? Like in a week? In a month?
Not in a week, but in that. If I'm being careless with my money.
But you already have everything, though. That's what I'm saying. The house is paid off, your cars are paid off.
Like everything, like you could pay everything off, and you would still be good for. I guarantee you would still be good. The way that we live, we would still be good within like 3 to 4 years, maybe.
Because even with the pandemic and even with the stimulus check and then unemployment, I stretched a few grand from May till now, like. Maybe last month technically is when I got out on the grand. I was in the hundreds again, like my normal bank account. But yeah, I stretched that shit for 5-6 months, and that's just a few grand.
Right.
That's $100,000.
That's a different situation though. He's not in the hole like you were.
I mean, I don't know.
He's just being stupid with his money. He's always been like that.
But he could do that though because he has the revenue and he has the pool to do it.
I mean, who knows?
Well, who's gonna tell Mayweather no? Hey, bro, you can't buy this. What?
Nobody. But like he's just spending his money carelessly like he's always done. I'm not saying he's broke, but I'm just thinking that he's doing it for a quick check and he probably is broke. So, yeah.
Well, another thing you gotta think about too is like, Brother Man has multiple businesses too. Like
exactly. So he's never like the money income is coming in every single day, every minute. Matter of fact,
he has Mayweather Promotions, and I think he has like his own strip club.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he has a strip club
because he's always like promoting girls or whatever. It's like crazy like that. But what else was I going to say? The next topic, I don't even know how we got on that money tangent of Floyd, but
Just
that's
because
funny.
Floyd's a broke boy.
It
Fuck
is.
Floyd. All my homies hate Floyd.
All right now.
If Floyd, if you ever wants to sponsor a podcast, I'll say different. Now, like just like last week where I wasn't really an expert in the topic, but the other two people were. But Tyler, kind of the same situation here because I like baseball, but it is alright to me. But these two are diehard Yank fanatics, fans.
That chase for 28. Chase for 28 this year. 2021.
But I do personally, if I gotta talk my little shit that I will talk about in baseball and to some Yankees fans, I will say I think we do got the best division in baseball. I think so, because the Padres was good, the Dodgers were good. But why are you making that face? Why are you still making that face? Am I lying?
Rockies, right?
Yeah. I just talk about the division. I'm not talking about the Rockies. I'm just talking about the division that the Rockies are in.
No.
We're at a better division.
I guess I don't count this season because it was only 60 games.
Yeah.
It was a Mickey Mouse ring, as a lot of people say about the NBA.
Because you're
theirs was a Hollywood ring, you know?
Man, if the Yanks would have got it, it would have been all good in the world.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I mean, I would have been happy, but like it's only 60 games, and they never should have played it.
I mean, we're also in some shit that we ain't never seen before, so you can't say that.
Right, but if you're just gonna cancel the season halfway through and only do 60 games, then just not do it at all.
How many games are they doing this year?
I don't know what that's going to look like. I think they're waiting to see what COVID's like in the beginning of spring ball.
Honestly, they should just do a spring ball. Because the baseball could do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think most sports, like the summertime sports, are just going to wait to see what COVID's like in the next year and see if it's more under control. Hopefully, it is, so we can go back to somewhat of a normal life.
So then, as a baseball fan,
You guys actually have the most rinky-dink division because you got, the Dodgers, obviously good, World Series champs. Okay.
The Padres are good too.
Then you got the Padres. Who on the Manny Machado? Is he still on the Padres?
That one nigga won the. I think he won MVP.
Yeah, he signed.
Or no, he won the Golden Glove. That dude that went crazy with all the home runs.
Tatis?
What was Machado's what's his contract? It's like something stupid, like 10 years or something. He was getting, all I know, he's getting paper. He's gonna be in San Diego for a while.
I think it was 13, 10 years, something like that.
Something like that. Something crazy like that.
I don't know. It's hard to judge this season off divisions because there's not 100 and some odd games that they play.
Right.
I would probably say, the AL East, our division, Tampa Bay went nuts. The Yankees, Blue Jays had a good season. Red Sox suck. So the Orioles.
Garbage.
Yeah, I mean, the NL is just mainly the Dodgers, and that's really it.
The Braves had a good season, though, right? After the turnaround.
Yeah, the Braves, they had a decent season. I don't know. It's definitely hard to judge baseball off of 60 games because it was only 60 games, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more than enough, though.
No, not necessarily, when there's usually 100
The season
some odd
really
games.
doesn't get into fruition until about the All-Star game.
Or after the All-Star game is when teams...
But what are you saying, fruition? Like, why do you need that many games?
Because what usually pretty much the dog days of the MLB is probably somewhere around like probably August or
But
July
what
or
I'm
so.
saying is, like, I feel like that would benefit more teams to play less baseball games. If anything, it helped the NBA. And I feel like it would help baseball because, like, there's a lot of motherfuckers you gotta watch in baseball. Like, a lot of people get rotated in and out, too. Like, you're 40 or whatever. I think, isn't it 40 technically that you could have on the roster?
40-man roster,
Yeah,
I believe
right?
so. Don't
So-
quote me on it. I'm not 100%.
It depends on the position, but like a lot of basketball is also more like literally running up and down the court instead of
But, I mean,
baseball being
there's a
like
lot of stuff.
stationary. I mean,
Like,
granted,
there's this substitute pitcher, there's the closer, like there's the baseball managers be working. I see them folks come out and they always subbing somebody else, switching this, that, and that. I feel like that would benefit more in a young season, and I think
I think they are trying to work towards a lesser game season next year, I believe. I just think players don't want to play that many games like back to back, fly, play that same night, back to back to back, fly again. It is a lot.
It's 100. Like personally, even if I wasn't,
It's 120, I think they play.
162.
160. I'm tripping.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Cause say we play Tampa Bay and stuff like that, then we got like it could be like within like a 5-day span we play Tampa Bay at Tropicana Field. Like it'd be like a 2-game series.
Like
it'd be like a 3-game, 4-game series, and then go back to New York and play Tampa Bay again in our stadium, and it'd be also like a 4-game series or so.
Mm-hmm. That shit's real. So then, yeah, I'll say for the sake of baseball, because I know NBA is cutting it down 10 games. I don't know what difference that'll make.
Are they?
Yeah, it's a 72 games.
I think for us it would be like 100 would be
100. I'm thinking
100.
Yeah.
Either 100 or 80 or something like that. I don't think it's gonna be like anything higher than.
I think 100's a cool number. Spread out the season more and just give players more time to rest their bodies and stuff like that.
I don't think, and also
precautions because of COVID.
One thing that I've been thinking about like the last couple of years, I think they need to move the All-Star game from July to probably, I don't even know if July is really the halfway point, because like the postseason starts in October.
I mean, it's technically the halfway point. Like,
yeah, but I would say more towards
move it really,
because you got April, May, June, and July, and then August, September.
Baseball is also
I would move it like
kind of weak in a way because it's only like a week. I feel like the NBA does more days than that.
What?
I don't know about hockey, but I feel like your All-Star weekend is like that 1 week, and then y'all go back.
It's the weekend. I think they get
because Thursday. Because if we do it on like, because
or is it like
Thursday is like
where you get like 2 days and then you get an extra week because they have that weekend or whatever.
Thursday is the home run derby. Then Friday is like I forgot.
I think Friday's the home run. I think they do home run derby. No, they do.
Because
it's usually on Saturday. Sunday's the All-Star game. I don't know if they do Friday. I don't.
I thought it was like Thursday, like home run derby. Fridays like the rookies or like the minor leagues or whatever. Fuck, I don't know what baseball does. And then
I think we need to include like a rookie showcase.
Well, they had that
show. No, I thought we just don't we just have the All. I thought we just had the All-Star game. Oh yeah, never mind. We do have a minor All-Star game.
They do stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what they do for All-Star Weekend for baseball. I don't think they did.
How much time y'all play the show? Y'all don't know what they do.
I'm not on PlayStation. I don't play the show.
Oh, well, this nigga play the show. Nigga be 30 years deep in the show.
Yeah, I'll be on my Derek Jeter shit.
I don't know. I'm very excited for baseball.
And then
to
if I get
again.
traded to the Red Sox, then that's when I retire. Quit.
Look, man, as long as the Rockies make it to the World Series, everything be alright.
You guys might not have that happen within like a good probably 5 to 10 years.
We got young talent.
Depending on who you guys want to spend the money for.
Well, we don't have the money y'all have because luxury tax. That dumb shit.
We're in New York. We're in the Mecca.
Baseball be paying people crazy.
I don't know how luxury tax is going to work this year though. Because it's like luxury tax is basically what you put in from the city, and motherfuckers are not selling out seats anymore, so nobody's gonna have that much money. And even the smaller franchises in like the Midwest or like smaller areas,
I think they cut that out last year. They cut out the farm system. It was just MLB play. I think they might try to do the smaller farm system teams next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if they cut that out again. Yeah. Just because they can't afford to pay those players.
I was gonna say because like
even though they get paid, they don't get paid that much anyway.
Right. I was gonna say nobody doesn't have any money. Like everybody about to be broke.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even tap into your city's money because unless maybe you can tap into your city's money for like i.e. like the Floridas and Texas where they're still technically open and they're having people come to the stadiums. Maybe they'll make their money back, I guess, and use it on players.
I know. I think LA during the World Series had like not a couple of fans, but more than a couple. But they filled some seats, I think.
And then that one player kind of. I'd be surprised if he's not in trouble at the beginning of the year.
He wasn't.
He's not in trouble.
Justin Turner, the guy that got
COVID,
came back and celebrated with the team. He didn't get in trouble.
He didn't?
No.
That's fucked up. I get you want to celebrate with your team, but that is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that was more selfish, and there's people with their families on the field, little kids and shit. I think a couple of people tested for COVID after that too, but the baseball commissioner sucks. It's like the NFL's, they're terrible, and what they do, they suck. They're just bad at their jobs. So
I'm never going to downplay somebody that makes more money than me and say that they're terrible at their jobs, man.
I mean, they are.
But they're there for a reason, though. As well.
I feel like they should
kiss an ass and shit, probably.
I feel like most people should honestly follow how the NBA does things. I like how the NBA does things a lot, but I think the NBA cares more about their players.
Yeah. The NBA commissioner is just outstanding in everything he's done, from handling COVID to the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that. He's done a great job in handling that, every aspect that's been thrown at them. So shout out to him.
So NBA starts the 22nd. And then there's our Christmas Day games, obviously, that Friday. Tyler, so Knicks gonna go 0-72, right?
Oh, you're funny. Wow. You think our trauma is funny.
Knicks about to be smashed.
We've always been,
smash. Going to continue to be a smash and forever.
We've always been a rebuilding team within the past decade or so.
Yeah, eventually you'll have to stay and be a building.
It's just one of those things where we gotta be able to find what we need as far as what we need to develop as a very prestigious franchise team. And
so realistically, answer these two questions as a diehard Knicks fan for the podcast listeners.
Our last championship was in '73, by the way. I looked that up.
What record do you think you'll have, and do you think you guys can make the playoffs?
I say we can win a decent 50, 55 games.
Brother man, there's 72, right? So that's 50 and 22, right?
Yeah. I have the most of faith in my Knicks.
I'm pretty sure.
Not 2K too, by the way. We're talking about real life.
I'm pretty sure the over/under for the Knicks is win total is 22 on William Hill Sports betting app.
I'll take that.
That's not good.
I think the Knicks got a good draft pick in Obi Toppin. He's a phenomenal offensive player. His defense is really sus, but I think he might bring that spark to Knicks. I think they win, 20, 25 games maybe.
And we still got R.J. Barrett to build around.
He's booty. He can't shoot.
You're talking like he's the centerpiece. Nobody wants to be. I don't think R.J. Barrett wants to be R.J. Barrett in 2K. Nobody wants to be him. I'm being honest.
He's ours, and he's here to stay. So,
I think the Knicks are just going to be like the Sacramento Kings, where it's you got.
No, don't watch your mouth on that one.
Sacramento Kings had a better record than y'all.
So,
and what I'm saying is, Negro, before you rudely interrupted me, is I was saying that I think they're going to be one of those teams where they're good and